All right, welcome to Drive Time. Rob and Jenna with you. As we were doing the show yesterday from 3 to 6 on AM 1040 in Tampa, we got word that the Buccaneers and Kwon Alexander, the rookie middle linebacker, had dropped their appeal with the National Football League over his upcoming 4-game suspension for a violation of the substance abuse problem. Well, do you call PEDs a substance? I guess you do. Of the banned substance protocol of the NFL. So he's going to serve that 4-game suspension now. So in all essence, the season is over. And what a season it's been.
He's finished just 7 tackles, combined tackles, shy of 100 on the year. Lavonte David already has 100 on the year. The fact that the Bucs have a tandem, and I was talking to some Twitter followers about this, the fact that the Bucs have a tandem of 100 tacklers is really just quite remarkable. And I was looking through some of the stats, and he's right up there in a number of different categories. Pass breakups and interceptions. And, you know, I've got to believe that if he didn't have the suspension, there are a few guys that maybe could challenge him for it, but he could have been NFL Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. So big disappointment there. And, of course, you'd really like to have him for games like this weekend against the Saints. You've got the Rams. You've also got the final game of the season against the Panthers. You've got the Bears, too. But who knows? Maybe they will get him back if the Bucs do make the playoffs.
You know, most of what we talk about and most of the press coverage of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to revolve around Jameis Winston. He was a number 1 pick overall in the NFL draft. And that's quarterback. That's the sexy position. But you know what? Kwon Alexander's been the best player on that defense all season long, game in, game out.
Well, and he's the quarterback of the defense there. So for all the play that Winston's having, and we've talked about it, the Bucs have had their issues on defense. We know that they've had their breakdowns in terms of pass coverage, but they've also got a guy like him that I think can really grow with this team and grow alongside a guy like Lavonte David, grow alongside Gerald McCoy, and they can really fortify the type of defense that so many people came to love here in Tampa Bay, that vaunted Tampa 2 defense, although it will have some unique wrinkles in it. And another point I want to make real quick, too, is that I was talking to Henry Melton, who, of course, played in Chicago. He played with Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs, and he was saying, you know what, those guys behind him, they're playing a lot like the guys that, now granted, he did play with them as they were getting older and up there in age, Urlacher and Briggs, but he said those guys behind him, that's who they remind him of that. They have that type of potential, and I'll tell you what, that's some high praise coming from him.
This is a very good linebacking core, and there is kind of a tradition of that here in Tampa Bay, and maybe the guy smiling the biggest is the rookie linebackers coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that Nickerson guy. I think he knows how to play that position.
I think he does, and exceptionally well at that. Yeah, Hardy Nickerson now in his 2nd year coaching that unit, and what a fine job he's done. And, you know, this is going to be the test this week of that unit, considering they're not going to have Alexander. Hardy always has all of his linebackers cross-trained in multiple positions. And, in fact, he at one point had played the strong side and moved over to that inside linebacker spot. But he has them all cross-trained for a reason. They're not going to have Kwon Alexander this weekend. They're going to have Bruce Carter instead. He's typically an outside linebacker. He was brought in to play inside. Of course, Kwon beat him out. But this is going to be a true test for that unit. I do like their chances, though.
Now, with the suspension, it's going to cover the next 4 games, and that is the remaining 4 games of the regular season. So if we get to see Kwon Alexander again this year, it would have to be in a potential playoff game. So we hope we do.